Well, hello and welcome everybody to the 1874 podcast. This podcast is all about Arthurlie FC. We're not going to speak majority about them because I could get bored of that. Craig is my bestest friend in the whole world. He's here to help me today because it's just a wee introduction pod just to let people know what we're going to be doing. We're going to speak about junior football, Arthurlie FC. We're going to speak about Scottish football as a whole. Going to do some mental health stuff as well because I think it's important that we get out there and speak about it. So, like, subscribe, comment. The more I get for people like you listening and watching on YouTube, the better it is for this podcast. And hopefully I can make you Arthurlie fans happy for what I'm bringing to you. First of all, before we go on, a shout out to sponsors G4 Claims. Thanks very much for what you're doing for me. It is amazing. Can't thank you enough. If you're injured at work or anything, carry on that you hear on the telly, don't go to them, come to G4 Claims. They'll sort you out. If you can't find them, get in the description on YouTube. I'll post it on social media and stuff as well for you. And Greg, the guy that's doing the social media, he'll help you out and help you with your claims. Alright, so this is Craig, as I said, my best friend.
Might not be after this, right enough.
You want to say a wee hello to the viewers, Craig, and tell them why you're on and what it is you do?
Aye, as Tim says there, this is just hopefully a little pilot for what he's going to be doing going forward for the new season. Obviously, with Arthurlie Invincibles getting into the Premiership, which is some bloody achievement, let me tell you. As a friend, I know Tim has, hammer and tongs, full pelt right into Arthurlie this year. He's doing tremendous stuff for the club, for the community as well. And this is just another avenue to that, which I'm really proud of him for doing. And I hope the fan base and local businesses and stuff like that all buy into it, because it's going to be really worthwhile. The guests he's got coming are exciting, even for me, as an Arthurlie fan. But even as that, I'm looking for Arthurlie results now through you. You know what I mean?
Aye, well, you know me, I don't stop talking about them. I'm always sending you messages about them. I think I do it to everybody, all my pals. Do you know what I mean? It's like you can't get away with it. But it is what it is. I'm just glad, I'm happy and privileged to be in a position I'm with Arthurlie just now. And it's the best time to be with them, as you said. I mean, Invincibles. It's madness. But aye, thanks for your kind words. I'll give you that score later for mate.
No worries.
Craig's got a few podcasts he does himself, and this is how I got into it, because the stuff he does is amazing, and it spurred me on to do it. You want to plug away your podcast, mate?
Well, obviously the main one we do is called Ticking Over. And it was just me and a few like-minded boys that met on TikTok through lockdown. Obviously, all the adults turned into Waynes and started making TikToks. And we decided to do a podcast together, and that was in September, and it's still going. And we talk about anything from putting jam in a pot noodle to mental health, men speaking out, generally anything at all. But
I don't think there's a subject that you've not covered, to be honest.
Oh yeah, mate. Listen, if I left it up to Andy, then we'd just, I'm telling you, to see some of the subjects. But it's great. I love it. The boys that we do it with, Andy and Sammy, big shout out to them. It's absolutely brilliant. And then recently, me and my mate Chris have been doing a movie-related podcast called What's the Script? And what a laugh as.
If you're a movie fan, get on this. It is hilarious. They just done one not that long ago about the film Dodgeball, and I don't think I've laughed so much in
honestly, if you just
fantastic.
Like a bit of camaraderie in your podcast and people talking about a film you've seen, it's a laugh, man. It's good.
And so, I mean, he does serious films as well. So, I mean, there's a few serious films he's done, and but it's not as if they're just making it up. The level of what this boy puts into this, I mean, it's...
Here's my wee pad,
he's
all my notes in it and stuff.
Obviously, this is my first attempt at this.
He's sitting with a pad.
Aye, so, I mean, I'm winging it, but that's what I do with most things. I mean, the photography, I wing it.
Do you know...
I picked a camera up and just started taking photos, and then Arthurlie posted that thing saying, we're looking for a photographer, and I was like, oh, that's for me, innit? But then I said to you, I was talking myself out of it, going, oh no, I don't know if I can do it.
I remember at the time. I remember at the time. So I'm going to turn into the interviewer for a wee 2 weeks.
Here we go. I knew this was going to happen. It's not like him.
The level of commitment started somewhere, didn't it, with Arthurlie? And how did it start, basically? What was your feelings? What made you go lang?
Well, I've been gone well before the pandemic crap. About 4 or 5 years ago, I started going. And there was something about it. I just went, I love this. It's different. Now, Arthurlie wasn't in any great shapes at the time. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't as if I was glory hunting. But not a chance. With being a Rangers fan the last couple of years, I'm definitely not a glory hunter. Do you know what I mean? I've been through them all. But I remember going with Lewis. Lewis is my oldest son, by the way. 16. Hello, Lewis. And I said to him the first time I went, I'm going to do something in this club. Now, people might think, he's talking out his arse. But I genuinely did say that. I had that feeling. I went, aye, there's something here. And then after we were allowed back out again, I just started going back along to watch them. And I thought, all right, I'm enjoying this again. This is good. Because we hadn't been to a football game in how long, do you know what I mean? Sitting in the house watching it with no fans. You know what I mean? It's nonsense. But getting to be back out there, it happened to be, I think they were playing Glasgow Uni. And I was like, aye, get back into it. And then, as I said, with the photography stuff, during lockdown, I had took up photography and I was just taking photos on my phone and stuff.
Puddles and shit, the town and all that.
Being arty. Because I love street photography, it's my passion. And people around about me were saying, do something about it then. You know what I mean? And my old man bought me a camera, which I was grateful for.
Right.
And then, as I said, that came out, Arthurlie put a post on social media. We're looking for a photographer. I was like, yes, I'm going to do it. And I went down the next Saturday and I spoke to John, who's a match secretary. He's the vice president. And he was like, aye, go for it. Just go out the day, put your camera out if you'll go it with you. And I done it. And then the next minute he's like, do you want to come to the Scottish Cup away game? And away up to Banff.
I remember that. I remember the night before, the first time you done it. It was kind of like your trial, but I think you were getting it anyway. But you were fucking pure nervous the night before and says, I hope I get some good action shots and have a chance of goal. And I said, don't worry about it, just go there, walk around the ground, take your photos. Remember the first stigma you had was about taking photos?
Aye.
People watching you taking photos?
Absolutely. I remember getting into the city centre the first time taking photos, and it was like a big hullabaloo getting off the train going, oh no, everybody's looking at me like that nugget with a camera. Do you know what I mean? But then, as we go through things in life and learn, I learned that nobody cares what you do.
No, I did it fuck.
Nobody gives a fuck what you're doing.
No.
It's not as if, right there, he's getting off the train, everybody. Look at him, look at the nugget. You know what I mean? But that's what your brain tells you. I mean, but now, it's like, I get people coming up to me now, taking the photos and they're going, got to take photos of me. I mean, I've got players giving it, I don't like that photo.
Aye.
Don't post that one of me. I've got plenty of photos of them that they don't want me to post, which I'm keeping up my sleeve. A bit of bribery.
Aye.
But did you get the goal? Because at first I was all about getting goals, right? I wanted to capture the goals. Goals are what people want to see and stuff, but I'm hoping in the future we start filming it, so you'll be able to see it. But now I'm trying to build like a portfolio of players, so I can capture them in different. It's for the graphics, basically, for doing the graphics, because I do the graphics and social media for Arthurlie as well. I have finger in everything with them. But people are coming up, did you get that goal? And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that anymore just now. I'm concentrating on this thing. But it's been good capturing players. Like one of our wee players, his nickname is Messi. I hadn't seen him playing with Jamie. He's been injured for a long time.
Is it no bad, or does he just leave shite lying about everywhere and that who's called Messi?
I can't comment on that because I've actually I've seen him playing there at the end. He came on for 10 minutes against Les Mahego, I think it was. So I got the camera ready to take a photo of him, and he's playing with his boys. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, for God's sake, 12 months waiting to get a photo of him, and he's hanging about with his crown jewels. But I eventually got a photo, it was good enough. So aye, that's how I got there with Arthurlie. The thing with junior football nowadays is people still have the wee stigma about it. It's blood and thunder, ball up in the air, carry on, and ex-pros coming into wind down, and
Aye.
it's not like that.
No.
It's great football. Do you know what I mean? You look at Clydebank and the team that shall not be named, like playing black and white. That's for rivals.
Aye.
What they have been doing at the high level, Auchinleck, Darvel, they've proved in the Scottish Cup they can go and beat SPFL teams. You know what I mean? And beat them convincingly. Do you know what I mean? So the level is far greater than people actually think. So get your arse down to Dunterley and start watching Arthurlie. Do you know what I mean? You'll be entertained. I'm telling you that right now.
No, definitely.
You'll be entertained.
I mean, from my point of view, so I started going to Clydebank, because that's my local team, up that way, and took in a few of their games. And like you say, first of all, the first thing you notice, right, is the community feel, right? You walk into the turnstile and somebody says hello to you and how you doing and everything all right.
You're on first name terms with people. Well, I'm now, especially, obviously, with you, with your twins and stuff like that, and your work commitments. You're not getting to as many games as I can get to, do you know what I mean?
And so I noticed that, right? I noticed, again, like you said there, the level of football. It wasn't a kick and rush. It wasn't get the ball at the back, hammering it up the tap, let it bounce back, out for a shy every 2 seconds. It was tactical. It was build for the back, try and play up the lines, get the ball in. It was noticeably tactical.
I think what it is the coaching levels are far better, because you'll get boys that are going and doing their coaching badges now.
Aye.
And they're maybe coaching with, well, I know some of the players are coaching like younger teams and stuff like that, so that probably goes onto the pitch as well, do you know what I mean?
It must do.
They're taking in their own stuff that they're teaching the kids. But I was pleasantly surprised at the level of football. And I had said to, well, many times have I said to you about it, it's great, go, you'll enjoy it. I'm just glad that you have went and done it, and you've got something on your doorstep that you can go and watch. Anyway, Bankies. That Elgin game, that was the first time I'd watched these. And
Like it was on the telly, that's right.
I was surprised that some of the players, I thought the big boy at the back, Niven, he could have played with slippers on.
I'm delighted he's signed on for next season, as most of the top team have, which is very heartening. But the level at that night, I mean, I'm there for the first time that season watching against an SPFL side, and we played the occasion for the first 45 minutes, and then we just grew.
Aye.
The replay, we kind of went up there and said, you know what I mean, fuck it, let's go for us. And
that's what these teams need to do. The juniors need to do that when they go in. We're on a hiding to nothing anyway. Go out and play. But they've surprised teams, do you know what I mean? It's just amazing to see, even though they're not my junior team, but see, watching them in it, you're
of course
like,
it is. And that's something you'll get at the junior level between rival clubs that you only get at elite level football. Absolutely. I say elite very sparingly in Scotland, you know what I mean? But
absolutely. And I see it, being part of the committee and stuff, and going to these places, and the hospitality you get off at other clubs.
How many teams for the junior section or retweeted Darvel's Cup run or retweeted Clydebank's Cup run?
Everybody's doing it.
Everybody.
And we got it off everybody as well when we won, do you know what I mean? It's like, the crazy thing about, I posted a video of us, as soon as we won the league and all the players were singing Champions and stuff. That video get 240,000 engagements. That's madness for a junior team.
Aye.
49,000 video views, but it just shows you that social media works with junior teams, you know what I mean? And I keep getting told of a lot of people that what we're doing on the social media side is fantastic. I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet or something, but I know that I've made it better.
Of course you have.
And it's going to get better and better and better the more that I get used to it. I'm just winging it again. I do that a lot with everything, but you've got to, do you know what I mean? It's time consuming. You know the stuff you do with the podcast and stuff.
I think we watched PG and Dak last night, and he talked about father guilt related to podcast. He says he had his Wayne in front of him, and then he was on his phone doing something for the podcast, and he was trying to set up a new laptop, and he just thought to himself,
what am I doing?
My Wayne's there. So it is time consuming, folk, and people like Tim, myself, and hundreds of others throughout the leagues are doing this after their own steam, out their own pocket a lot of the time.
Well, that's it. It's all voluntary for me. Do you know what I mean? It's all voluntary. And the time, it flies past. I do a lot of it at night after the winter in bed and stuff, but she'll catch me during the day. What are you doing? Get your phone down. I'm like, I need to do this. I need to get this done and stuff like that. But do you know what? I want to change it.
Of course, no, listen, we wouldn't do it if we didn't love it anyway. That's one thing, and it is good for the mental health side to get engaged in something and get your time focused on something.
Aye.
Life's fucking...
We'll speak about that later, about some of the stuff. I want to speak about Arthurlie's unbeaten invincible season.
Yes.
Absolutely outstanding. I'd just like to say a personal thanks to the committee members for letting me in, and a big thanks to all the players for what they've done for me. But anything I need for social media and stuff like that, they've been spot on. Give me wee bits of blurb when I'm doing the re-signing stuff and things like that. And they're all great boys, and you deserve it, by the way. Do you know what? You have been absolutely outstanding. You blew everybody away. I think 1935 was the last time it was done by Arthurlie, and it was 18 games. We played 30 games this season, 28 wins, 2 draws, no losses, 109 goals, 29 against, 86 points. Who does that? Arthurlie does it. That's who does it. Do you know what I mean? But they're phenomenal, man. They were just blowing everybody away. Muir Cup, after 7 games or something, we had a wee wobble. We were down to 10 men. We lost 2 goals in the last 2 minutes, ended up a draw at home. But then we went on a 22-game run.
Do I remember, I've kept abreast of the league's form Arthurlie this year through you, obviously.
Aye.
And got to a stage, I was saying to you, when is it this week, 3 or 4? And then, see, sometimes when you're coming back to Arthurlie 1-2-0, I'm like, oh.
Aye.
Aye. That's how good you were.
Aye, it's like people are expecting.
Just a tour a day, aye.
Do you know what I mean? For me, a couple of games in the season that made it for me. I said the Muir Cup one where we played Shots in the second game of the season, who were our biggest rivals, away from home. I wasn't at the game, but I heard from people in the committee and fans and stuff that we were outstanding that day. It was only 2-0, but we played them off the park. It might be amazing. I wish I'd seen it now. That's why we need to video games. So, the bigger one for me was Ben's. We played the Benburb at home.
I remember you saying.
Now, Benburb were probably my local team growing up. I used to sneak into the ground.
How the worm has turned.
Play football on their pitch, because that was my boyhood place to grow up, Drummoyne. So, but I was never a fan of them and such. I mean, but so we played them in a cup at home. Now they're in the league above with Clydebank. We blew them away in the first 20 minutes. We scored 3. They didn't know what hurt them. We were outstanding. Ended up 5-1, I think. And I think the players knew after that. They went, well, we're all right. We're a decent team. We can. That's a level. If we're going and taking 5 off of the bench, no, don't get me wrong. The bench had some great games before it and after it. Good scores. I think Talbot they drew and stuff like that. So it's not as if they were on a slope. They were at the bottom of the league.
They didn't put a second string team or anything like that.
A good team.
Aye.
So I thought there, we're going to do something this year. Do you know what I mean? And we had Shots at home as well, so that was a biggie. We got them early at home as well, which is good. Get the rivals out the road. And it was a tight game. I think we won 2-1 with a late on penalty with our captain, Gary Carroll. And I think the fans and everybody after it were like,
it's happening.
Right. Because the thing with Shots were, right, if you look at their stats this season, Shots have been hanging about like a bad fart, basically, right? And we just couldn't get rid of them. We just couldn't get rid of them.
A fart in the motor, I broke one day.
That shows you, if Arthurlie weren't like how good they actually were doing. Do you know what I mean? I know we'll reach that in a minute, but after Christmas, we'd 5 weeks off at Christmas, right? And we come back against Forth, Wanderers up there. What a place to go, man. Freezing cold pies and everything. But we won 2-1. We just get through. We lost one of our strikers. We Dale Simeon after 5 minutes, and it just didn't feel right. The boys didn't. They'll say themselves they struggled after having had 5 weeks out. So, and it was like that was the time I was saying to you 1-0, 2-0, and you were going, oh wait a minute. So you do start thinking, is this going the right way? Are we going to get this? Like, I was confident enough, but you don't want to say it out loud. Do you know what I mean? Keep it indoors. So then the big one came, the Bonnie Rig Rose at Dunterley, and everybody was choking for this, and then it get postponed because of the weather.
Yeah, that's right.
We had to wait another month, but we got them, and we fancied it.
So you not get postponed that day, so your taxis? Because you were so looking forward to it. I was thinking of you being that wee meme that at Castro sitting in the garden.
Aye, that's exactly what it was like, because
the game's off.
It's the effort we put into that game, do you know what I mean? And I made the programme for that game. The first time I've ever done a programme in my life. And it's hard work. So to everybody out there that makes programmes and does that, fair play to you.
Hats off, man.
It's a full-time job. Do you know what I mean? So if we're going to do it again, I'm not doing it. It's a wee commemorative thing for me to say, I done that and I'm keeping it. That's my wee baby. But it's hard work. But that game, wow. Do you know what I mean? We had a penalty early on. Captain missed it. So he's been excellent with penalties this season. So
starting at the drama, mate. That's all.
I think he wanted just to see how good we were.
Aye. So
but they went up the pitch and got a penalty that should never have been a penalty, by the way. And they scored for it. We battered them that day. Played them off the pitch, man. Do you know what I mean? But the level there, it's but game management. Do you know what I mean? That's the difference. Do you know what I mean? The slowing it down, the getting the crowd irate. Do you know what I mean? And just the goalie being a tube. Do you know what I mean?
So is that something you think athlete of kind of going to have to master, going up a division, game management, or have you seen signs that they've started to use it towards the end of the season when they've had to? I mean, Arthurlie are a really good team, so no doubt about it. But they need, when they go up to this Premiership, we need a bit more experience on the bench, because we've got a lot of boys come through for the under-20s that are on the bench. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that these guys are rotten or anything. Do you know what I mean? They're good. That's still a leap. It doesn't matter what level you're at. It's still a leap for the one to the other.
They're just potential. Do you know what I mean? Until they play at a higher level and get the experience of it. We need boys on the bench that have been there and done it in the Premiership. Do you know what I mean? That they know how to come on and wind the game down and put a foot in the ball and just be that bit of experience. Or being a thorn in somebody's side. Do you know what I mean? Or being a pest up front, like putting them under pressure. And that day, the disappointment after that. I mean, the players came off that pitch with Bonnie Rig and knew, they were like, we should beat them. And look at them, they're in League 2 now.
Aye.
I mean, they've just been promoted to League 2. That's the level.
Aye. When you were talking about this, how the fuck do we lose that game and all that, it reminded me right away, Graham Shona. Right, he said in the early 80s, Liverpool used to batter Nottingham Forest every game they played them, but Nottingham Forest always won 1-0. He says it's the toughest kind of defeat you can ever take, because you know that you have Lairdale, you know you're individually better than them, but they had the guile and the wherewithal to see it again.
I keep saying, no matter, goals make games, win games, right? So see when this, they didn't deserve to win. They did, they scored. We didn't. So they deserve to go through. At the end of the day, that's the whole...
It might take you 2 or 3 days to say that, but that's
the whole
true,
reason we're in this game. It's to win games, and to win games you need to score goals. We didn't score. It is what it is, but it kind of set a benchmark. We're like, right, this is at the level we know we can play it. And then the next week we go to Curtin Tillett, Rob Roy, who we played at Kilsyth Rangers ground in the Scottish, and we were like, the worst we've been, the worst performance we put in all season. It was a shambles, but it was like 2 defeats in a row. It'd be
say that famous, is the bubble bursting?
Aye, is this it? Are we going to end up below in the league, because Shots are still hanging about like that bad fart.
I just didn't go anywhere, did they, man?
Do you know what I mean? So
right in your coattails, man.
We're like, are we going to come off of this cup and go into the league form the same? But the Rob Roy game, it was, we lost a boy in midfield after 2 minutes or something, and I think the players were a bit irate about it because there was no booking or anything. I thought it should have been. Listen, don't take anything away from Rob Roy. They done what they had to. They scored 4 goals against us. Do you know what I mean? But it was just everything that could go wrong went wrong. I mean, we got a player sent off for shouting at the linesman. I mean, he should know better, Dan. I spoke to you about this anyway, but I just like, get it out the road, forget about it, out the cups, concentrate in the league. So it's back to grinding the 1-0s and stuff like that. And
about rebuilding confidence in it after a back-to-back like that.
Aye, and do you know what? A few players out injured and stuff, but you can't feel sorry for yourself. You just need to get on with it.
No.
We've got enough players there that should be able to go and roll this league and get it in the bag.
It's one of the things I noticed they're talking about junior football, about the levels and stuff like that. One thing I did notice on in Home Park is, for talk's sake, like Niven's not playing tonight.
Aye.
Oh, is he suspended or injured? No, he's working. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. These
There's
boys,
a difference. People don't realise that. You know what I mean?
aye, no, they're probably no on great money. Do you know what I mean? Well, if you listen to Ross Wilson, the ex-Mary Hill manager, he'll tell you that Arthurlie players, he knows for a fact they're on 150 quid a week.
All right. I know the Clydebank boys are getting pints and I love it, so they don't care about that.
But these boys are doing it for a love of the game and all.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean, we're quite fortunate. See the boys that we won that league with? They shouldn't have been playing at that level. They shouldn't have been. They should have been at a higher level playing in the Premiership. So that shows you what the manager, Andy, and assistant Palmer, what they've done.
Foresight.
Bring the boys in that they know and stuff like that, do you know what I mean? And good experience, their captain and big Gary Smith up front, do you know what I mean? It's, but boys that have played at a good level with Aberdeen, Rangers, Partick Thistle, do you know what I mean? They've just had it wrong with injuries and stuff, and they're at a level now. But so after the Rob Roy and that, it came to Girvan at home. Ended up 4-0 with Dunham, and we knew that Shots were getting beat after 8 minutes after 4th, and we're all at the end of the game. Oh, what was the score? What was the score? And there was no update for Shots on their Twitter, so I was like, they've been beat. They're gutted. They don't want to text this. I mean, and then it came through, and you have heard the roar and stuff in the dressing room and all that. I mean, because we knew then that's it. We've got that. Because we always had like 2 games in Hon, and they were at the top with 1 point kind of thing and stuff like that. But we knew that pulled us away, just that wee gap, and we knew we're going for this now. So it now became going on unbeaten run, and we went to Johnston Borough, who are a rival. It's a hard place to go, Kenny Park, you know what I mean? And a decent team. And they were up 1-0 against us. We were like struggling all day. We just weren't at the races again. And we brought a young boy on, Chris Ponza, for the under-20s. And he scored with about 4 minutes to go or something, a header, a cracking header. 1 each. Saved the unbeaten run. And I just remember after it, they were livid. Because they thought they were the team to beat the unbeaten run, and the team to finally beat us.
You're a scalp after a while, aren't you?
And it was great just to go, I mean, keep it going, excellent. And then I later found out that Shots get beat again. So you're opening up a bigger gap, so you're like, right, that's it, league's in the bag now. Don't want to say it out loud, but I'm saying it myself. I'm making up graphics champions and stuff like that, Invincibles, and
I know, I've seen it for you before it was mathematically impossible.
Planning t-shirts and the flag and everything, do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to tempt fate, but we need to start thinking along this line. So, as the season goes on, it's getting better and better. We know we're getting there, and then the way it's looked, Shots just went, and their bubble burst. I think when they get beat off the 4th, I think they knew that's it. They gave up on it, which is understandable, but we were relentless, as they say. And it came to the Wednesday night, 20th of April. Mayball at home. If you were there, you'll remember. 2-0 down. And it's our big night. We're like to clinch the league.
Aye.
And it's...
Let's get on.
Mate,
What's
honestly,
happening?
I'm standing behind the goals taking the photos and I was just like, no, not at night, man. And no disrespect to Mabel or anything, do you know what I mean? But if you're going to lose it, I would rather we done it against shots. Do you know what I mean?
Aye. No disrespect to Mabel, but I'm going to disrespect you.
You know what I mean?
I know. I just love it when people say that. Because you know it's coming right after it.
Aye.
I don't mean to be rude, but aye, you do.
And it was just like, it's all gone wrong. At half time, we went in, regrouped. And after, like, now after it, I've spoke to Andy, the manager and stuff, and what he said is like, you've got goals in you. I mean, you've got 3 goals in you, get out there and win it. And within, I think, 7 minutes of the second half, or 7 minutes, a space of 7 minutes, we'd go to 3-2. And the first one went in, it was like, right, come on. Second one, right, we've got plenty of time here. And then see when the third goal went in, what a roll, man. Honestly, what a celebration. All the players right out of the side, and it was a big jump. And you've probably seen the 40s. I mean, I'm sitting at the sideline screaming like a nutter. I might be taking 40s, and I'm forgetting. I'm like, oh, I need to be capturing this moment, but I get caught up in it because that's what they do to you. It was phenomenal and emotional, man. Do you know what I mean? You've seen men greeting.
Aye.
There's boys there that probably hadn't seen Arthurlie win anything.
Exactly.
I mean, I think it was like 19 years since they last won a league title.
Aye. See, the thing I'm thinking about this home beating run as well. You personally, right? Arthurlie has captured you as a new supporter. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you're working for them and all that stuff now as well, but you're new in. Did you notice an upsurge in crowds, like people coming back that had been gone and probably lost interest? Or have you seen new fans coming in, younger fans and stuff like that?
We've got a good core element of support. It's the same faces you see all the time. Mm-hmm. The good thing is we get the under-20s and like the amateurs and all that. They'll turn up and they'll watch as well, which is good. But it's just that night against Mabel, I seen faces that I hadn't seen before.
Aye.
So we've spoke about this and said, if we went out that night and scudded them 5-0 and made it look strolled it, people might have went. But see the fact we went 2-0 down and then won it in that manner, and coming back 3, it had everybody.
Aye.
I mean, honestly, the roar was wow. Do you know what I mean? For a wee place like that.
Brilliant.
So what I'm hoping there is you get your arse back if you were there that night. That's what I hope happens. We've captured a new audience there. Do you know what I mean? That maybe haven't came to junior football, and it was because it was a Wednesday night. We don't get a lot of Wednesday night games because we've no floodlights and stuff, so we need to wait till a certain time of the year. Anybody want to buy his floodlights, by the way?
I was going to ask you about that, actually.
Just DM me.
Anybody works in a plant hire place and don't get any TL, just stick it out there.
Aye, please. But you were saying there that the run with it, I think it was 22 games, 22 wins in a row or something. Crazy. But they've broke all sorts of stats. Club legends, these guys now, you know what I mean? They're like invincible. I mean, they'll live out on that for the rest of their life.
Aye.
But it's like the other stats, clean sheets, I think they broke the record for clean sheets and stuff. Goals in a season. Like, Darren Ramsey scored the 100th goal of the season. I told him at half time when he came off, and he was like, oh, was it? And then the other boy, young boy, Chris Ponza, who scored against Johnson, he came over, he had scored, and it was the 150th goal of the whole season, including cups and stuff like that. So it shows you the numbers these boys are scoring. That means
Telling you. Good stats at any bloody level, man.
Well, three strikers. Dale Simmons played 29 and scored 30. Gary Carroll
Shite.
played 36. Played 36, scored 32. And Gary Smith played 31, scored 35. I mean,
Aye.
over 90 goals between three. And the wee guy, Tam McGoggy, who supplies the goals to them. We don't have your stats, mate, on your assists.
But it must
but
be.
you keep telling me that you're the assist king, so I'll believe you.
Must be Davy Cooper, Jimmy Johnson levels with that assist rate, man.
I'm telling you, see, it was against Saltcoats, Victoria, and we beat them 4-0. He assisted the 4 goals, but nobody speaks about it.
Aye.
I speak about it, Tom. I know, right? But just amazing. I mean, the whole team are just playing. I can't talk about them enough, like how good they were this season, and they need to know that, and they need to believe it, and go into next season with that same belief.
Aye.
All right, people might go, you were playing against such and such, but you can only beat who's in front of you. That's what they're all saying, isn't it? All we know it's going to be a harder season.
Of course, right. Get up a level. You're saying that, I hope they know. So, I mean, hopefully they listen to this, and this is, I think they will know, because your enthusiasm rips out. Yeah, I can only imagine what you're like, running about the place on match day and stuff like that.
I'm quite quiet. I'm quite quiet when I'm there.
Oh, yeah?
Take my photos and stuff, aye.
Well, this will be great for them to see, the passion. I can see it in you now. I can see it in your texts.
The committee and stuff know, because the way I speak it and what I want to do for Arthurlie and how I want to help them, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I just got on with my job when I'm taking photos. I hardly see the games properly.
Aye.
So this is me through a lens.
Uh-huh.
I don't get to watch an Arthurlie game.
Good album
minutes.
that, Robbie Williams, Life Through a Lens.
I wish I was taking the photos for him. But so I don't get to enjoy a proper game with him, where I can go and sit and actually watch the game. Well, recently I've been doing it and forgetting to take photos.
Aye.
But that's my main job when I'm there.
This is what you're going to do next season. Start blowing teams away in the first 30 minutes, get 4 goals up and all that, and then Tim can relax for the second half, you know what I mean?
I can put it, I'll just get an apprentice, that's what I'll do. I'll just bring in Joshua. He was doing it at one game.
Aye,
I've got some photos, I've not uploaded them yet. That's what I need to do, get Joshua's photos, because he took a couple of characters. No, Lewis has took a couple of photos of Darren Ramsey, and he keeps taking photos of his arse. So every time Darren goes past Lewis, he's like, "Are you taking photos of my arse?" And he's like, "Oh, show." You know what he's like. But
no, click.
Aye, so that's my job, as I said, doing the photos. I want to hopefully get it recorded as well, so that it's for historical reasons.
Of course.
So if you go into YouTube and type in Arthurlie Scottish Cup win, you can't see it.
Sorry, I veered away from. I was going to ask you as well about I don't think, obviously you're doing your bit as best you can, but I do not think Arthurlie have got anywhere near the notoriety they should have. I don't know, like a 30-second bit on Sports Scene, or a little clip on Sky Sports. I know you've tried, right? But it's crap that they've not been recognised.
We get recognised by other teams in the league. We get recognised by our support. We get recognised by the West of Scotland, PG and Dak. They've been excellent. Thanks, guys, what you've been doing. You've been helping me out, getting this set up as well. They came down, they done their wee vlog, and they loved it. Do you know what I mean? They were like, it was a great day. We'd love to see more of that.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? But as far as it goes, it's the local paper, Barhead News, do you know what I mean, who put my photographs in it.
Uh-huh.
But like A View for the Terrace, TV show, BBC, they've mentioned every other bloody junior team. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
And I've messaged them like, when are we getting recognition here of what we've just done? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's sunk in what they actually done this season. And we've just kind of overlooked. But do you know what? We know what we've done. We don't need that for these people. I'll keep it at that. I also want to talk about the under-20s and the amateurs, because not only are the top team, but amateurs are now 2 games away from invincibility. Right?
It's the norm, innit?
I just think it is. They've already
fucking sickening, actually.
They've already won a cup and they've won the league. They won the league the other night, which was brilliant. What a mad last 3 minutes. 3 sending ass for Glenburn. Crazy. But they're also in a semi-final. They play Neilston in the semi-final at Torry Glen. So they could be gone for a treble. Invincibles. What a job you're doing, Stephen and Sean, by the way. Absolutely outstanding. Keep it up, boys. I'll try and get to as many games as I can and take photos, especially final and stuff. Semi-final. Jumping the gun there. in the under-20s, Graham Vance, the manager, and the rest of his team, they've been doing a great job, and he's got the under-20s into a final as well in the Knockout West Cup, and they're playing Beath, so hopefully they can bring a trophy, and then that's the 3 teams.
What a team photo it's going to be for next season.
Mate.
Is the pitch big enough?
I'll need to get a wider lens. I'll need to say to Greg here if I can borrow the camera and stuff.
Panoramic.
Do you know what I mean? But it's just a great time to be at Arthurlie. The committee are doing all they can to make it the best team that can go into the pitch for the management. The management are outstanding. I mean, the committee are doing other things behind closed doors that are going to help us. Obviously we need more help as well, do you know what I mean? But we're going in the right direction. Everything's rosy just now. We're going to get our dark days and hard times, but we'll be prepared for that because we're better off the pitch now. We want to reignite the local community as well. What I've been trying to do, do you know what I mean? It's like get people from Borheed back into watch the Borheed Argies, as we call them, and be proud of a local team, do you know what I mean? Because it's a great wee team, and the more people we get through the door, the better. The good thing that's happened now is we've just got a new partnership, a new era we're calling it, and it's with Barhead Youth Football Club, right? So they've got from Wayne's to under-20s. Well, I think the under-20s just folded, but so what we're doing is a pathway, so you can come through Barhead Youth if you're a young boy, and we'll show you can get into the first team if you're good enough. You put the hard work in, so you come up through maybe the amateurs into, or under-20s into amateurs and then into the first team. We've already had boys doing it this season, and one of them is Aaron Healy, who's been, I've said to you a couple of times, this boy is a player. Right. I mean, I don't want to blow his trumpet because I think he loves himself. No, he knows how good he is, do you know what I mean? He knows, and he's had people sniffing about him, but we've got him the name on the dotted line. You hear rumours of so-and-so are in for him and this team want him. He got a mention on open goal. Well, they didn't mention his name. Right. But because Cy Ferry and that have took to Broomhill.
That's right, I just noticed that.
Sorry, open goal, Broomhill. Madness. But it is what it is. They were up, they played our under-20s, we scalped them. And he was there with Andy Halliday watching. And then they spoke to people, this young boy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, unfortunately, he's first team, so you're not getting him, stay away. And if you want him, it's big dough, by the way, we're talking, right? Big dough. So I get shown the other day, it was like open goal. They're mentioning, they're saying, Andy Halliday's like, best individual performance I've seen in a long time. Do you know what I mean? Now, this boy must be sitting there.
But I was, aye.
But just stay with us for a wee bit, Aaron, right? Just stay with us.
Aye. Grass isn't always greener, son.
Stay a couple of years with us in the Prem and win that, hopefully, and stuff, and then move on to pastures new. You'll not regret it. So, aye, it's just a great time. I'm glad we've got the partnership set up. And that's the other thing with the partnership. We're going to start wearing red and yellow away strips now, that are Barhead Youth colours, and they're going to wear the blue and white Arthurlie. So it's just to show the whole community.
An amalgamation.
And these young boys, they can look at him. I've actually got a picture that you might have seen, and it's Aaron scoring his first goal at Dunterley, and he's running away celebrating, and there's 3 wee Barhead Youth boys sitting looking up at him, and it's like, could I capture that any better at the time? Do you know what I mean? And it just shows you these wee boys want to be him.
Of course, I want a bit of that.
And then
we all did.
We've got the path there to do it.
Aye.
So, aye. Well, we're talking about that. I need to plug my wee Club Shop Direct, where you can get your Arthurlie merchandise for it. I'll leave the link in the...
Quality. Absolutely quality, as you can see in the video if you're watching this.
I'll leave the link in the bio.
Pepsi Max hasn't tasted
it's
any
the best. And it does everything. Like these Arthurlie hoodies, key rings, pint glasses, anything you want to do with Arthurlie. I'm helping them with some things that are going to come out. Well, the Invincible t-shirts and stuff, that's my design. So he's printed that.
Brilliant.
And it's going to get better and better. But Derek at the Club Shop, thank you very much for the stuff you've done for me with the podcast.
Well done, Derek, mate. Keep it up.
And we'll get you, hopefully people going onto your website and buying for you, mate. And it helps the club, obviously, as well. Money going into Arthurlie is what we need. So that's that part there. I was going to talk about some Scottish football as well, mate, not just us.
Right.
What do you think where we are in Scottish football now? Do you think we need a revamp? Do you think we're doing things right? The national team and stuff seem to be on that wee level now. We're qualifying for things and stuff like that.
It's a fucking the $64,000 question, and it seems to be one that's been getting asked for me and you were we. And are we in a better place than we've been recently? Aye, for sure. The national team, right, we qualified for the first major tournament since 1998 in France, which was awesome. Let ourselves down when we were there, obviously at Hampden and stuff like that, but that's by the by, we got there. Stevie Clarkson.
Do you think that was down to maybe a bit of naivety, or these players hadn't played at that level? Because when you're talking when France 98, we had seasoned professionals that had been playing at a high level and they'd been to World Cups and Euro Championships and stuff. These boys haven't.
Aye.
So it's maybe that where the naivety came, because we didn't do too well, did we?
I can understand what you're saying there, but having said that, we've got Kieran Tierney, Andy Robertson, we've got McTominay. They were all playing in that first game, and I think they played the occasion better than they played. Before they knew it, they were doing 2-0, weren't they? Czech Republic, and then that Davy Marshall went a wonder to the halfway line to get lobbed, which I still can't believe it. I'm sure he can't believe it, obviously.
You might see a bit more of that now because he's signed for Hibs, hasn't he? What do you think of the pyramid scheme? Do you think it's a great idea? Do you think... I'm caught in two minds, right? Because
there's pros and cons for it, aren't there?
The romance of junior football, right? It's like you love it, that's why you're there with it, because it's different for the top leagues.
Aye, the thing about junior football, the thing I forgot to say earlier on was when I went to see Clydebank, was I came out it, I remember texting you, telling you, do you know, see the honesty, just the pure honesty of 22 boys running about playing football for a love of it. That is something that I know I do not get. Sometimes when I go to Ibrox and I can watch these players on 35 grand a week just not giving a monkey's fuck. These boys are finished a shift.
Aye.
And then they've got straight to home park.
Maybe going for a shift after a game.
Might be doing that as well, mate. Exactly. You know what I mean? It's the honesty. But the pyramid scheme, the good thing about it is, I think there's a heightened recognition for the young managers that are in junior football. And I'm talking about the guys maybe our age, between 36 to 45, kind of thing, because there's a lot of good managers in junior football. And in the past, you talked earlier about the stigma of junior football. People just say junior football and you think, fuck. They weren't getting a chance just because of that.
Football on the side, what about fan experience at football? Now, we've been to a few places, and it's horrendous. Some of the stuff that you're buying, pies that are like wood, burgers that are
still bought one Thursday night.
But junior football, I mean, some of the best food I've had is it junior football. It's amazing. Mabel, this is where I'm
making up for your fucking disrespect.
The steak pies were outstanding, man. But I mean, it's some of these big level places. We went to, was it Queen's Park? Remember that day? Queen's Park.
Aye, Hampden.
And
they still had fucking Beyonce prices at the fucking
8 chips for a
kiosks.
£5 or something. I mean, what is that doing for young people? How is that enticing young people through the doors, families?
There was a cup game on it, Morton, Queen's Park, at Hampden. There was about 300 people, and it was £4.50 for a fucking cheeseburger.
It's all rang. I mean, it's like, as I was saying earlier, the cash cow thing, and it's just about money rather than the experience and getting the people back through the door. And that's how with junior football, it's cheap to get in, cheap season tickets, pies and bovrils and everything. It's all cheap, do you know what I mean? And it's good stuff. It's not just crap put together. All right, some of it might be, but the majority that I've been to, it's been good.
Aye.
And the welcome, the hospitality. Sometimes you go to these big stadiums, it's in, out, see you later. Thanks for your money.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Even the talk about the catering for us, that is something that, for everything Rangers have addressed behind the scenes in the last year, again, I'm only talking Rangers because it's experience at Ibrox. The catering is absolutely, I wouldn't get my lanes, man.
It's
Do you know what I mean? And then you're getting served at half somebody that's been to school that day. Doesn't know what they're doing.
Looking at you as if you're a monster.
Aye. And more often than not, I mean, you get these bovrils, right? £2.50 for a bovril. And I can get the same sleeve of tenner for £1 in Poundland and Clydebank shop themselves. Do you know what I mean? So you're like, look at a profit margin and that, you're getting shite.
Moving on to this, we'll go into another subject, but before I do, I just want to be plug for one of our sponsors, Jam Jar. It's a wee restaurant in Shuttle Street in Paisley. Small place, big taste.
Oh, like how you done that, yeah.
It's a half and half specialist, so it's half pizza, half pasta. It's honestly, mate, if you've not been, go. It's tremendous.
Jam Jar.
Massive big helpings and
They
everything. You know what
did a lot during lockdown as well, didn't they?
I mean? They do a delivery service as well, so if you're in Borhead and you're starving,
Say,
give them a phone, Jam Jar. If you're popping in, say hello to Mark and Paula. Really nice people. Can I say enough for them? Thanks very much for helping me out as well.
They sell jam.
Aye, honestly.
Yes.
In a jar.
Just had to think.
So, right, the next subject I'm going to speak about is Time to Tackle, who are an amazing charity. You've probably seen it on social media a bit. It's a boy, Aaron Connolly, who's played junior football. Him and his missus, Siobhan. They do amazing stuff. I'll leave a link as well in the bio if you've not seen them or heard of them. But I urge you to go and look at them, especially men. If you want to go and play football on a Wednesday night, Paul at Shaw's, 7 o'clock. On a Friday night, they play down at St Mirren, that big hub behind the stadium, the big. It's 8 o'clock they play there. And it's just for to get guys at the house.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? You know, you've watched this stuff, and if you want to know more about them, watch the PG and Dak special they've done with him. It's very hard hitting. It's he's very open about his mental health and suicide and stuff like that. But it's powerful, and it captured me right away. The guy, do you know what I mean? I was taken aback with his honesty, but I knew right away. I went, I want to do something with this. Do you know what I mean? And I've spoke to Siobhan on Instagram and stuff, and I asked her, can you be in partnership with the podcast? And I'll basically, it's just to promote them. That's all it is. I just want them to be promoted so people hear it and people know what we're wanting to talk about, because this is what we're doing here. It's two guys out speaking and doing something outside my comfort zone, because I've never done anything like this. He's a natural at this, right? I've known this boy since he was 17, and he's like, he should have been on stage, one film. Well, he's in film now, right?
I forgot about that.
Film. But he's a natural at doing this, a DJ, karaoke singer in a band. He's always been the front face and all that. So, and here's me hiding behind a wee camera out the road all the time. Do you know what I mean? But this is my time to get out of my comfort zone, and it's through watching your podcast and the mental health stuff that you talk about, and we're watching stuff on Time to Tackle and what they're wanting to do in a community and stuff. And I knew I wanted to do that in Barhead, and I want to make a place and a hub for people to come to just to get the house. It might not just be men, it might just be everybody. Do you know what I mean? Because everybody's got problems. And Aaron talks about it in the podcast. He says men do want to speak, but it's finding the place and the right time for things for them to do. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what do I do? How do I get people at the house? Do you know what I mean? I'm working on it. We'll get somewhere. But
the good thing is you're working on it. I'm working on it. There's people like us working on it, and it's slowly getting better. I think lockdown forced a lot of hands, especially from the male point of view. We don't want to be sexist in saying that. It's just obviously men. I mean, my wife does a podcast called Mum, and they were talking.
Check it out. We'll leave a wee description in the bio as well.
And women that is really good, or mothers, sorry. Anyway, they talked about, I'll just give you a stat, right? They talked about mum guilt last week, right? And see on Instagram, mum guilt has something like 250,000 tags.
Aye.
Something like that, right? That's just one platform. My figures could be wrong here, but the percentage is probably around about right. Guys, father guilt is
We spoke about it earlier.
under 1,000.
Because
Every dad I know, including you, including Andy, somebody today taking over with me, and myself, dad guilt's 24/7.
I put it down to guys no having enough things for them to come and do or say and talk in this manner.
Right, that's very true, definitely.
So, as we've spoken, Craig's pod recently about, it's down to us now. It's down to people like us and you out there just to start talking about it as guys. Just get it out there. Do you know what I mean? It's once we start talking about it, it's, people need to know more about time to tackle and get that message out. Do you know what I mean? Because what they're doing is brilliant. Go and play football. And I think, and Aaron says, when he signed for the Meda, and he scores a goal and he says he lost it, and it was like in that moment, nothing mattered.
Aye.
So that shows you going out and playing fit. So that's how I think maybe he got the idea for time to tackle.
The thing with manic depression, which is what Aaron has, I nearly said had there, but he still has it. It's a bastard to shift. Right? Aaron resonated with me. I don't want to make this about me, but 3-4 of the things he done, his thought trains and all that, I'd done that between the age of 18 and 25. And like him, kind of glad I'm here today, you know what I mean? But you never get rid of it. But like you said, Tim, as well, you need somewhere or something to occupy your brain. Aaron, it's a football. With you, it's going out Arthurlie. With our pal Craig, it's going out into the fucking woods.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
I think the big thing I took for listening to Aaron was sticking a plaster on it. Do you know what I mean? No dealing with it. Sticking a plaster on it and just getting on with life.
Aye.
Just deal with it. Let's speak to, and that's what he says a lot in it. He's like, I need to now speak to somebody. As soon as I feel like that, I need to go and speak to somebody. So this is what we're wanting to do. Just speak up. Do you know what I mean? If you're watching at home or listening, my DMs are open. Don't be scared to message me or message Craig. We're here. This is what we're here for. We're here to get men talking or get anybody talking. As long as we're talking about it and trying to help.
Aye. And by the way, you don't have to be on the cusp of doing yourself harm. It could be the missus is annoying you or your wains are acting up and you just need somebody to talk to tell them about it.
Absolutely.
Because they wee things, they grow. Like Sam says about the plaster. It's like sometimes if you don't say something at the time, you don't speak your mind about anything, it'll fester and it'll grow and it'll grow and it'll grow, and then it can become huge, man.
And it can spiral out of control like that quite quickly. But it's amazing how when I've watched it a couple of times now, his podcast, and right at the start he says about, if you watch it you'll hear it, when he was at Hibs, he was 16-year-old and it was a huge thing. Do you know what I mean? Obviously he didn't have a dad there as well. So it's a big thing for him going through there. He says he was quiet as well. So in the dressing room, you know what dressing rooms are like. Do you know what I mean? And the PG and Dak speak about it later, and they're like, dressing rooms can be
testosterone fueled fucking cauldrons.
And if you're quiet and you're not up for it, it'll turn. Do you know what I mean? So him at 16, quiet, it's tough. Do you know what I mean? It's tough for him. And then when he says about walking away from it, he says, I felt maybe if somebody had just come put an arm around me, so. But obviously back then we didn't deal with this sort of stuff like we do nowadays.
Since you say back then, you're only talking 14 years ago, because he's 30.
Right, so way back in the day.
I know.
You know what I mean? And what came into my head was how many more young talented footballers were put on the scrap heap through that, because all they needed was somebody to believe in them a wee bit and put an arm in them and say, what's up?
Aye, you're right, son.
And then he goes, I'm in the digs myself, I'm no feeling, right, let's do something about it. You know what I mean? And I think he talks later on when he's at Ayr United. And
that's the first experience of somebody doing that to him.
No, I think it was at Glenafton, wasn't it? With Foxy, Southie, was it? The Ayr United one I'm talking about is he misses.
Oh, right, sorry. Aye.
I think he misses a chance.
And he takes it on board as them getting...
He misses a chance, they'll get relegated and they don't get their wages
Blames
and stuff
himself
like
for it and all that.
So it shows you how we can go. But also he said he knocked on the manager's door and asked to talk to him, and he went, don't fucking chat my door on a Saturday. He says he never played again and stuff like that. And you're like, come on, managers, what are you doing, man? I mean, there's guys champing your door asking you to, I want to talk. Obviously, for me, that's a cry for help, right?
Exactly.
Just open your door. Who's care if it's a Saturday? Do you know what I mean? You're there as a manager to manage players. Please manage them. Do you know what I mean?
And by the way...
And if you can't manage them, put them on to your assistant or somebody else at the club that can manage them.
I would suggest, and I would give a kind of a pass, no a total pass, to maybe an older school manager that's just ignorance, he just doesn't know. It's just old school. So what I would say as well, I think, again, the managers in our ages and a bit younger are coming through. This is totally part of being a coach. Mental health is now. There's courses now you need to do to get your licences, which is the way of the world, unfortunately, but it's a positive, because if you're managing, I mean, he mentioned himself, didn't he? He says there's 30s coming through an academy. We know for a fact, even then, there's only maybe 2 going to succeed.
I think that's part and parcel of football, and the cream of the crop, we're going to rise to the top. Oh, here, what am I doing here, man? Come on.
You're rhyming and you can't stop.
Yeah, I think we should start another different podcast, mate. Do you know what I mean? I could listen to that boy all night talking about his stuff, do you know what I mean? And I'm just glad he didn't do what he wanted to do. Because you've inspired me, mate, if you're watching. You've inspired me. And I'm now going to carry that forward and inspire other people. And if I can inspire one person, I'm doing my job, that's it. I'm helping one person. That's
our mantra ticking over. If one person gets a help for us, then it's worth it. And Siobhan and Aaron, I'll be asking if I can maybe just promote you. I know I don't want anything for you, don't want any clout, anything like that. Just want to just use your name, get it out there. It's another couple of platforms that maybe can help a couple of guys, man.
We'll certainly share it on our social media. So use it there as well that are following us. Share it. The more people sharing it, the better it is, right? And he's just been thing we'd recognised by the SFA. Did you see that?
I did, because I started following on Twitter and I've seen that.
I mean, it's all gone in the right direction. And you know, there's another guy, Graham Armstrong, the young team author.
Right.
He's been on a podcast recently. I was listening to the young team. If you've not read it, go and read it. What a book, by the way.
Is that James English he was on?
No, he was on another podcast, Glasgow podcast.
Right. I think Pudden was on that one.
Aye, he was on it recently as well. And this boy, Graham Armstrong, grew up in the Airdrie, and using better words, he's just a big Ned, right? That's what he was, a big Ned. But he changed his life for him. Do you know what I mean? He's now an international bestseller author. Do you know what I mean? He's got I think it's a master's degree, and he's gone for a PhD. No, do you know what I mean? But he speaks like us, do you know what I mean? He's just running the mill. But he was involved in all sorts of stuff, do you know what I mean? And he laughed at the teachers. Nobody believed him. One teacher ended up believing him. And got him on trying to say there's a bit in the podcast.
How many times you heard that? Teachers fucking shooting down your dreams.
Well, this is what I'm trying to link into the Aaron run. Do you know what I mean?
Even Paul said it the other night, I know, man.
Putting the Aaron run, just somebody to believe in somebody. Do you know what I mean? These guys at school, there's a problem with education just now in the schools, and we're not talking about it. It's another thing we need to talk about as well. I mean, these boys that are, and maybe not just boys, do you know what I mean? They're just not getting the support and stuff they should be getting. I mean,
see, when I told my primary school teacher I wanted to be Superman, and he never gave me the love and support, I was fucking raging.
He's got the cape and everything.
By the way, I have. My missus got me a Superman cape when I was 14 years ago.
The thing with
I digress.
The thing with Graham Armstrong, he said that one teacher who did believe in him had went into the staff room after he'd got his results and his hires or whatever, and slapped it down on the table and says, "See, you just didn't believe in him. You just gave up on that boy, and look what he's done." Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, it's his book. I get 300 knockbacks before I get published. Do you know what I mean? So it shows you determination in this boy to make it.
Fantastic.
So it's showing you what you can be. Do you know what I mean? You can be what you want to be. This guy was. Do you know what I mean? If that teacher didn't believe in him, what would have happened to him? Would he have ended up stabbing somebody and going to jail, or getting stabbed himself and dying or something? Do you know what I mean? Or who knows?
I just giving up on it.
But
giving
that
up
one
his dreams in
person just
life.
helped him. Do you know what I mean? And then look at him now. The guy's flying. Do you know what I mean? He's done a Scotland the Rave thing on BBC.
That's right,
It's
aye,
excellent to
I've
watch.
seen that,
He's
aye.
working on a new
Aye.
book, Raveheart and stuff, which I can't wait to read. It's going to be outstanding.
I'll maybe get to read Ned's. If Lewis, you're watching this, you ever get it back to your dad.
The young
And
team.
a young team, sorry. You better have read it, I know. You better not be
I gave it
lying
to my
on your
son. He's
bed.
halfway through it. He says it's brilliant, and then he puts it down. He's not, but hey, that's teenagers, isn't it? So, as we said, don't sit in silence, guys. You know what I mean? Don't try to date alone, because you'll not get anywhere. You need to talk. I mean, I'm just grateful that I've got people like him that I can
Likewise, mate.
talk to any time of the day. Do you know what I mean? And I've got other people that I can reach out to, and we're here if you want to reach out. So please do. We're not going to judge you. You know what I mean? Don't be scared to talk about things, because
I can't judge him.
we've been there and done it, mate.
I can't judge him. You can't judge him.
What have we? Do you know what I mean,
We have done some
some of the stuff
questionable fucking shit.
that
in
shall
the
not
day.
be said ever.
No.
But aye, please. So we're going to move on for that, and we'll talk about next season. A huge season for Arthurlie, because now we're going to play Clydebank. So
Unlucky,
it's
mate.
going to be a bit of banter between me and the big man.
They do some plastic pitch training there, son.
Well, we've played them quite a lot yet. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, true.
There's a few.
Forgetting there's a few down the leagues.
but
Needs must and all that.
I'm looking forward to going to Home Park and seeing it, mate, and taking photos there and meeting the committee and stuff. I've actually spoke to one of the boys on the committee about some stuff, about some advertising and things.
I'm eager to see where the fixtures coming out so I can make time for it. You know what I mean? Definitely. Come to Dunterley and
You'll be red carpet rolled out for you, mate. Sorry, it's a wee red towel we've got. We'll just put it and wipe your feet coming in the door, mate.
fuck. Red carpet, Jesus.
Well, there's huge games. I mean, like, you've got Cambuslang Rangers coming up with us and Petershill coming up. Do you know what I mean? And some of the teams that are in it. You know what I mean, it's going to be brilliant. I can't wait to go to these places like Talbot and stuff. I mean,
I think the biggest level up for the division below is the fact that in the Premier there is about 8, 9, maybe now 10 teams that can all beat one another. You still obviously Paul and Talbot are kind of just get that bit more, but the other best of the rest. I mean, in Clydebank, I thought we're going to, do you know what I mean, catch Pollock and all that at one stage, and then they just took.
I looked at one point, you were close, and then, but it shows you what that league can be. Do you know what I mean? Yesterday,
Aye, got to
3-0 for Largs.
Largs.
It shows you. Do you know what I mean? It's but on their day, Indy can beat Indy. Apart from this season, nobody beat Arthurlie in the league. But
So, for your point of view, Arthurlie next season, what do you need? Do you think you need something? I know you said earlier about a couple of experience, maybe.
the good thing is we've kept the core of our team,
That's what your
right? So there's like
number one priority.
14, 15 boys that have.
Because with that, you keep the mentality, you keep a winning mentality.
Absolutely.
Fresh and heat.
And I've spoke to the boys and they're up for it. They want this. Do you know what I mean, this is a level they want to play it and showcase what they've got. Got a couple of under-20s there as well that have got to come through. Maybe some boys for the amateurs. I know for a fact there's a couple that I've watched that are good players that they could maybe step up. Do you know what I mean? But it's a big league. We keep saying Indy can beat Indy. So, and the great thing as well, we've got the games against Pollock back. Do you know what I mean? And
Tasty.
I've never been to one. Do you know
No.
what I mean? So every time we've played them recently, I've been working. I can't get to them and stuff.
Could
so.
be some pyro action at these ones.
I'm looking forward to capturing that. I think I might put a camera down that day and get right involved. Do you know what I mean? But I looking forward to playing these big teams. This is where Arthurlie should be. And if you listen to other podcasts, I know I've said it a few times, PG and Dak, when they're talking about us, they've waxed lyrical about Arthurlie all season. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're back to where they should be and stuff like that. And that's not us being big-headed or anything. I mean, we're
deserve it.
Coming up for our 150th anniversary. Do you know what I mean? We've been professional. We've been at we've beat Celtic back in the day, 4-2. But we're going to go up there and
What's a good season for Arthurlie next
teams
year?
are going to look at us and go,
I'm not going to fancy coming to Dunterley, that's for sure.
are you invincible? Are you sure? Bill,
Aye.
you're up with the big boys now. Let's see if you can handle it.
So what's a good season for Arthurlie next year?
In my eyes, winning it. But that's just me. I'm just like, why no? Why can we not go and win it? Stranger things have happened, but
Fair play to you, mate. No, not at all.
I want to get all the players on the same mindset. Do you know what I mean? The managers are, do you know what I mean? They need to be on that mindset. Go up there, and we're not there just to make up numbers and get packed back down again. What was the point of going and
No,
Vincent?
that'll just no happen.
Aye, so I know the fans are looking forward to it as well. You guys are, what a season you have had following Arthurlie, do you know what I mean? And I'm just grateful that you have been able to see an invincible season. That's, I mean, you're part of history. I don't think MD ever is going to see it again. You know what I mean? And you were there, you've seen it. So we thank you as well as a committee member. Thank you all for your following and support. It's been tremendous all season. And I know you will be out in force again next season because you always are. You are a great squad. And thanks to all the sponsors as well who sponsor Arthurlie. There's too many to go through. I could be there all day, honestly. It's like, I'll maybe tag you all on Twitter or something later. But what about you for Bankies? What do you think?
But again, like yours, we've kept the core element of our top team that have already signed. We've got some good youth prospects. A few of them were thrown in.
I think one played yesterday, 17-year-old.
Aye. There was a few of them thrown in a couple of months back now when we were going a wee bit off our rails and stuff that were thrown in through necessity rather than making the grade just then and there. But the future's kind of bright. We're still talking a new stadium as well, moving away from Home Park. Should have happened a few years ago up at Faithley, but somebody that had a nice garden decided they didn't want fucking offer us plan permission because it would devalue our house.
So that's the kind of thing that we're you're looking at. It's like, do we stay at Dunterley or do we move to a new place? Because it's an old stadium, it's 100 years old. Do you know what I mean? It needs a lot of work done to it. Anybody there that wants to help us, keys a phone.
I can only imagine that decision. If you did have a pot, would it be cheaper to start afresh, or would it be worth upgrading what you've got?
See, for me, I
Plus the floodlights
don't
and all
want to leave Dunterley because it's got the history in it and everything. And see these new places you go to.
I don't think anybody ever does want to leave.
The new places you go to, they're soulless. These plastic pitches, and they've all got the same wee stand and a couple of other wee things. 1874 Club that we've started up. It's an amazing idea, especially with the Invincibles.
Get on it.
So you, as a fan, pay £18.74, and you get your name on the strip, embossed on the strip. Brilliant. We've done it before, but there's only 450 spaces. I've took 3 already for my wings, which I can't wait to see, honestly.
Aye, no brainer.
We've had a good start to it already, people interested. So if you want to get that done, you just go to the email address. It's Arthurlie1874club@yahoo.com. I'll leave a link in the description for that. Pay your 1874, get your name on the tap. Home and away top, by the way, not just the one strip, do you know what I mean? So you're getting 2 strips.
That's fantastic.
And it's a keepsake because it's the first one back in the Premiership, the Invincible team and stuff like that. I mean, so get on it, get your money into your coffers.
Exactly. And then you'll be that excited about having your name on the tap. You'll go and buy the tap. Home and away.
Aye, and I can't wait to see a strip this season. I might get to buy it because last season they shut the club shop, VSN. The only day it's open during the season so many times. But
you've already got your order in, mate, haven't you?
Orders will be in, mate. quadruple XL.
You buy one for me?
Aye.
What's it?
And the only other wee thing I want to go on about is the Friends at Arthurlie thing that we do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically it's a wee supporters sign up thing where you pay £10 a month. I do it, do you know what I mean? I'm part of the committee and stuff. I pay £10 a month into Friends at Arthurlie. It basically is just helping the club as a supporter, £10 a month or whatever you can afford, really. Do you know what I mean? If you want to pay a fiver or a quid or whatever, do you know what I mean? We're grateful for anything that comes into the club, but it just helps a wee local club get that wee bit further up the ladder. It helps fund the youth that are coming through, do you know what I mean? And you'll see it on, I've got adverts on social media. I'll be running it again soon. So please look at it and sign up as a direct debit if you can. It's only 10 months of the year we do it. We don't want it every month, although I think I'm paying it every month. But I just, please, it sounds like as if I'm begging here for money all the time, but do you know what I mean? Wee clubs like us, I'm not saying wee clubs, but you know what I mean. Like,
we're all doing it. I do it with Clyde Bank, I'm part of the membership team as well, and it's just, we really, well, I'm saying we, that's me, Mr. Arthurlie now, but I'm sure you do realise, as we all do, times are hard, money's short, just came out of a pandemic, but as you say, if it's £2, £5, £10, anything you can muster, and a direct debit as well. I mean, would you pay for Spotify every month? Tenner?
What should pay for a couple of pints, do you know what I mean?
I wouldn't know, mate.
A tenner for 2 pints or something in a tune?
I'd be fair to find how much a pint is now.
Do you know what I mean? One Saturday night, don't pay it, and just send it to us. And you'll get the link in the description to that as well. So the first real pod that we're doing, this is a kiddie on one, right? I got a professional in with me to just guide me through it.
Professional what? I'm not telling you.
So the first one we're going to do is we're captain, Gary Carroll, who's agreed to come on, and
brilliant.
You can't ask for a better one for the first one, really, can you?
Brilliant.
Get your captain on and hopefully hear his story. And
I hope you're going to ask him about the title celebrations and all that kind of stuff.
Oh aye, it'll be. Hopefully he brings his winners medal on, and we might get the
trophy,
the plate.
Sorry.
The buffet plate we'll bring in.
The trophy next year, innit?
Aye, the trophy next year.
See, that's thinking for you.
Get it back off of Darvel. So I can't wait. I mean, it's been put off. It was meant to be start of April, but
life doesn't stop sometimes. You know what I mean?
I get greedy and went, I want him in with the trophy. And then we were going to record, and then G4 podcast got in touch with me and said, I've got a podcast studio.
G4 claims.
Aye, but it was a G4 podcast.
Oh, the two separate entities?
Yeah.
All right.
It says it on the wall outside. You can come and use the studio. And I thought, aye, you got to use the studio. It's more professional. I would be sitting trying to edit this in the house. I know I could do it, but it's time consuming again. It's adding on to another thing. Like,
I know it is.
Running the social
media.
media.
Do it for 2 fucking podcasts every week.
Do you know what I mean? Photography, job. You're like, so it's like getting done for me here. Do you know what I mean? Greg's going to edit my stuff in that as well for me, so I can't ask for him. He's been great so far.
I tell you what, see if I could get the other boys that do my podcast in the same room at the same time for an hour a week, I would be chewing the boys' ear to get in here, because it is a fantastic setup.
Aye, it's
beautiful.
It's
beautiful.
It's top notch. And I'm glad that I've made the decision to do it, because it's going to look professional now. Do you know what I mean? Instead of me stunning and duntily trying to do it with my iPhone or something, do you know what I mean? And it's just not looking right.
That's brilliant.
Well, what I didn't want to do is one with the captain on my, and then get somebody else in and it looks professional. And it just takes it away from the look. It's got to be right.
Oh no, it will be. And you've got the perfect base and platform for it, definitely.
So
stunning.
Thanks very much for watching and listening. We'll get this out onto YouTube and Spotify and all the rest of it. Just like it, please share it, subscribe to my YouTube channel, give me feedback on it as well, what you want to see, what you don't want to see. Probably don't want to hear a lot about Rangers again, but hey, we need to we benchmark with stuff, and it's using for experience. That's why they're getting mentioned. We're not trying to make it in
No, not at all.
like that. But aye, please, just the more likes and shares and subscriptions I get, the better. And I'll bring you better content week after week. It'll get better and better and better. Who knows? We might start doing a live show and stuff like that. And
I think you could get much better than me, mate. But the Captain Arthurlie, whoa, what a number one show that's going to be.
I can't wait. And I've already got questions after you all to ask him. I think you asked him one as well. So I'm just grateful for anything that gets done for the podcast and people help me out. Thanks again to all my sponsors. Cheers.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much for coming on, Craig. It was a pleasure.
Brilliant.
Craig being the first guest, I got my wee t-shirt made up, so I don't know if it'll fit him or whatever, but he can fit into it. If not, just keep it as a wee momentum. So there you go.
Thank you very much, mate. That's brilliant. That's much appreciated. Thank you.
Thanks again for coming on, mate. I appreciate it.